Welcome to the one and only Jesse Royal.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah, thank you for having me. Nice vibes. It's a very what you call them day? Yeah.
Cloudy, grey.
Yeah, very great day in London, But the vibes up full still, There's still something to appreciate tonight.
I mean, you had 2 days of blue sky. 2 days.
Yeah, I did bring some blue sky over and pack it up in the suitcase and carry it forward, but it look like them run out now.
I think you need to send another suitcase.
Yeah, make 2 calls and see what can go on.
Well, I wanted to ask you about, obviously we're going to talk a lot about your recent album, Royal, but I noticed your 2017 album, it shares my name, Lily of the Valley. So,
nice.
So obviously I was a very big fan of that album.
Yeah.
But tell me the meaning behind the name and like the message that goes with that.
Also, Lily of the Valley is a concept that I had attached to my art. So let me start from my grandmother was choir director at a Baptist church. So as a younger youth, I always used to go choir practice with her, as well as church, yes, but choir practice. And the reason why choir practice stood out to me is because I was literally the only person in there seeing how the songs were articulated and what went into making this sound so magnificent and Sunday. And Lily of the Valley was just one of the songs, one of the hymns that resonated with me from them time, from me at 6 years old. So it's really been a very alive hymn to me, because when you're that young, it's not even about God or praise or worship, just how it make you feel, and that hymn did make me feel really good, He's the lily of the valley, he's the brightest morning star, he's the fairest of 10,000, everybody had to know. Yeah, so that concept kind of did stick with me from them time then. As we grew older and fast forward to where we I get this first body of work together. We need to go through some other things. My daughter did just get conceived in the creation of the thing, and we had been playing with a couple other names that I probably can't remember now. But then when it all boiled down, everybody's vote was for Lily of the Valley. So we did just run with it. It's my concept, but I still validate everybody who I work with. So yeah, you may have the idea, but other people's opinions sometimes are valid, So yeah, that's how we work with Lily of the Valley, and it was one of the realest titles I could have given that project. There's songs like See Us Through and songs like that really talk to me. Full Moon, to this day, it's like different ideas of reggae music, that still have the root, obviously, because that's who we are, but still just our expression of music, and that's something that I try to maintain, and I always want to maintain, because that's where the joy there, in the ability to express, I try not to make what I think people want. I just try to make what make me happy. Yes, conscious of tempos and grooves and sounds. Yeah, we're conscious of that. But from the grassroots level, it's just I try and make things that make we feel good, And I feel like when you make honest art, you can do it till in the last day of your life, So I work with that route there, just share our experiences with people in as honest way as we can sonically,
I think it's special because I think also you're one of, in my eyes, you're one of the younger artists in the Jamaican music scene, but that's almost given you the opportunity to see all the different styles, from like the early side of it, from the 1950s and even earlier, all the way to modern day. But you still chose to work with the more kind of root sound.
Yeah.
So was that just natural? Like you didn't see there was any other?
That was just where we were in life, and our experiences, and our teachers, as well as and it was our first album. It's important to establish the root of everything we are going to do after. now we have the opportunity to experiment with a couple different songs like we did on this project. We experimented with a couple different melodies and perceptions of similar concepts, you know, but I feel like life is a natural progression that you don't have to force, you don't have to rush, you have to just be present, because as present as 2021 is, there's going to be a 2051, you know, and your hair is going to get a little grayer one day, you know, that's life. But you know, this is the natural progression of life, and when you live, you're able to accept, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to be 15 years old again, you know. I already had my fun there, I experienced that. That's for somebody else to experience now. So for me, you know, it's just, I gradually got through my experiences, my individual perceptions as well as collective perceptions, but then my expression of my experience while I'm on earth, you know, is important for we be true to that, you know what I mean? And it's no different than, there's people out there, you know, who you'll never know their names, but they've been so true to life. You know, there's some people where I feed how much people there's, you know, there's, all right, let's not even go that far. There's parents that are taking their children's friends to school in the morning, you know. Simple things like that, I mean, we may like to overlook, you know, but I them thing they may talk about, you know, like really move black to like living, you know, like living. That's something what me kind of really focus upon, and me I try push upon even my kids and whoever in my circle, like let's live. Like let's live. We already know, so we're living on borrowed time, so let's live, you know.
What was the experience like with Royal being like, I mean, I'm assuming a lot of it was recorded in the pandemic, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Like, but what was it like? Because with Lily of the Valley being an album like made in a time of freedom, did you have a completely different approach to it, or was some of it made before the pandemic happened?
No, what happened is we actually had time to create. You know what I mean? There was separation of physical energies, but it also helped us to realize, so, yo, there's so much more that we can do. So we explored a lot of other mediums. We were writing songs on Skype, we were writing songs on FaceTime. You know what I mean? We were creating melodies, creating riffs, sending voice notes, sending to this brother, you go record it in the studio, record that for me and send it back, let me hear how it sounds. Like, we were just literally being present in the moment and living, and from that came this beautiful body of work where I'm definitely proud to present to the world, because it's me, you know, and it honest and it vulnerable, and we'll speak about some things where probably if the place did free up we wouldn't even get time to think about, you know. I'm definitely have a shout out like Sean, Alric and Vision and Trong and JP and Unga and a lot of other individuals who did help me to bring the vision forward. Ayatash, you know, Adi, Stoneboy, Kumar, you know, Ronkos. All of these individuals who helped me for, you know, so you see how much people it make one thing, yeah. You know, so for me, as me I said, it was just great to have time to actually like, yeah, work on ideas, and probably will work on it in a different way than we used to. But it still work, you know, and my mindset doesn't allow me to be pessimistic, you know, my mindset don't allow me to focus on problems, you know. I'm kind of a solution-oriented individual. I know, so there's always a way. So I just so we operate, you know.
Well, it sounds amazing. The whole album is very special.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you could find something that you love on it, you know. I mean, that's what I've been hearing, you know, and it's good to see that people are pay attention. You know what I mean? Because we're in a genre where, because it's so spiritual and it's so like true. We are dealing with the King's music. Sometimes it will feel like people feel like them can't grasp it, you know. So that's why right now it's so important for we for ensure say we are connect with the community and we are, have clear conversations that can be overstood all around the world, because it's really a global community now. And the youth them over Istanbul I go through things where youth in a Kingston I go through. You know, and the youth them and some fathers in London is going through the same thing what some fathers in Ethiopia I go through. You know, and artists like myself I go through the same situation where artists in South Africa or Italy I go through too, you know, because imagine being away from your children, like, you know, so there are so many things that connect us that we overlook, you know. So for me right now, we just have to make sure say reggae play that role, reggae connect the community then, because reggae bigger than a genre, you know. Reggae is a conversation that needs to be a part of the world, you know. Reggae is a conversation that needs to be a part of everything we go on. So sometimes it's like it's bigger than any of us. It's just to ensure say yo, you them can speak that language yet and know say love is also a valid way of communication.
I think one thing that was really special as well, like I've grown up in London my whole life, and like I've always felt that like reggae and all the other kind of subgenres are so important here. And the same with Afrobeats, you know, London is one of the
super important, man.
Yeah.
Like, because you might not realize, you know, but it's rare when you see a sad, like even some of them Afrobeat, yeah, like it's like even when it's a song about a sad experience, it's still expressed in a way that allows you to see joy or see past just the only happening, you know.
I wanted to ask you about the experience of working, like, well, first of all with Stoneboy, I was going to ask about how you brought the two sounds together, because of we were just talking about the Afrobeats connection with dancehall.
Yeah.
But I don't feel many people are like bridging the gap the way you two have. So.
Yeah, no, Stoneboy is a super important youth in the mission. Is a youth who I have a profound level of respect for. Is somebody who understands the importance of connecting the communities. Him understands the way I want, and him understands this bridge needs to keep paved, you know. And this is definitely not the greatest that you will see out of the Jamaica and African connection, as you see a lot of collaborations happening now. This is all of them thing, yeah. It's just opening the gateway for what is to come. You're gonna see some greater connections, some greater collaborations happening with African people right around the world, because everything that is happening, you know, is literally just African expression of sound and movement and beat and rhythm. Yeah? If you take away the nationality, jazz, hip hop, bluegrass, rock and roll, punk, reggae, hip hop, rap, R&B, yeah, it's just black people expressing music. You see me? So but through the distortion now, you would think say, oh no, him over this and no. So that is like one of the works where we, you know, have to do, like connecting back the community them, you know, and seeing ourselves as a bigger unified thing that's happening versus pockets of energy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's why it's so special, I think, yeah.
Yeah, man, and why it's so important, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Likewise with your, I guess it's the kind of lead single, Rich Forever, it's become the kind of one of the biggest songs on the album.
Mm-hmm.
So working with Vibes Cartel, did you feel like some people may be surprised, or because you're not exactly in different lanes of music, but you know, some people, I guess, don't appreciate as much the bashment, you know, sound within roots reggae. So did you notice any, you know, strange reactions, or?
Yeah, there was definitely some strange reactions, but that kind of is also welcome. Because that means it's something unfamiliar in your face now, and it'll force you to have a reaction. And that's also important. We're all products of Jamaica, we are products of the same system. Cartel grew up in the same schooling as me, if you get what I'm saying, we're products of Jamaica. Same style. Bob Marley is a product of Jamaica. Supercat is a product of Jamaica. Bounty Killer is a product of Jamaica. Damian Marley is a product of Jamaica. Vibes Cartel is a product of Jamaica. So if you get what I'm saying now, we are all products of the same environment with different expressions of what we are experiencing. But every experience is valid because it's real. So not because you never grew up in the ghetto, or you never grew up not knowing what it feel like to have an empty fridge. That's some people's reality. You know, like we did have a discussion last night, and you know, some people ask their kids what they want for dinner. Some people, kids, have to eat what's there for dinner. You understand? So the whole mindset and the whole mind frame are different. So the level of respect what me have for Vibes Cartel is out of this world, not because of what in perception is. It's just because of the work ethic, the ability to rise from where literally is probably 0.5% ever. The amount of people that make it out of the ghetto in comparison to the amount of people that stay, trust me, it's a very unbalanced number. So you see the one them want to make it out and able to inspire in some way, shape or form, we acknowledge that. Like me said, me is a very solution oriented brother. So because you have flaws too, you know.
Yeah.
I may not know you enough, but give me enough time. We'll find, okay, and you will know me enough to know, say, oh, Royal have flaws. I will know, say, everybody have flaws, but it's not our duty to judge. See me? Because if me did live in a South Africa in a certain time, because Mandela in a jail, you'd have tell me, say, he's a bad man, right?
I wouldn't, because of
no,
that,
I just show you how the
words,
thing
yeah.
said. So you can't really use that to judge people.
Yeah.
You have a whole heap of innocent people in a jail. You have a whole heap of guilty rascal people who are free.
So true.
Right, so as me say, when you brush off all of them foolishness there, you can see the greatness. Marcus Garvey could have a criminal record a little more. You cannot tarnish him greatness. Right? So we honor our youth them, and he's a great youth, and it's a pleasure for me because only him could have talked to the youth them in the way what they need the conversation to come across. So we honor him to the nth degree, you know, and we will continue to make people know of his glorious side too. See me I say? Song like Rich Fiver is not talking about being a farmer slave. It's about remembering when we were kings and queens, understanding the realities what needs to be addressed for we raise the level of thinking and start get the upward mobility in action. You know? So yeah, that is it.
So my final question is about another icon in Jamaican music who we lost sadly 2 weeks ago. And I saw you posted a picture of Lee Scratch Perry and said thank you for the lesson. So I just wondered, was there one lesson that stood out above the others, or like one message or something that he taught you?
I mean, I remember one of the conversations, I guess, would have been one of the first times he saw me perform. I believe we were in Negril. And after I performed, he was supposed to be performing after, obviously. And after I performed, he did pull me one side. And, you know, him put him hands on my ears. And him squeeze my head. And him say, you have it now. You know? And obviously, I guess that means what it means, you know. But him blessed me in the Scratch Perry way, you know. And then after we had spoken about a couple other sounds, and him did just a try to say certain things when I'm hearing in my voice, I want to try to do with my voice. And that was the first experience. And after we'd had a couple other interactions, you know, and good and indifferent and strange, you know. But he's somebody where we honor for the work, so when I'm done, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like it's strange when you lose people that were holding up columns that you don't even remember exist. Cause that happened with the youth them, you know. See? Daddy Uri, Toots and the Metal. You understand what I say?
I just got chills, literally. It means a lot.
Well, go get a jacket. But may I tell you about reality? Like, we've lost some columns. So that is also another part of the mission where we have to focus on. Some people need to get around this and lean up on the column them. We need to make sure say the structure is reinforced. Because them work too hard and them work too long. Bob Marley work too hard, man. Bob Marley work too long. Tash them all, man, them work too hard and too long. So we now have to make sure say we come water the roots over for water, full up the glass they must supposed to full up, feed the structure they must need to get fed, and make sure we are play our part in the realest, purest way possible. Because this thing is kind of bigger than any of us. You know, not kind of it is. You know? So as may I say, once you have that mindset of service, then everything will go alright. You know? And that's kind of where I am at right now. You know, how can I be useful to this thing that has been so useful to me? You know? But one thing you don't want to be in life is not useful. Make sure somebody somewhere can use you if you do something.
That's true. Well, thank you for your time and your wisdom. That was a very, very interesting interview.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Pleasure is all, man.